Third time's a fucking charm, right?
With a chance, with a chance, with a chance, with a chance. When the crowd gets busted, when the floor gets dusty, when your blade gets rusty, with a chance, with a chance. When your room smells funny, when a hex takes your money, what's gonna save you, honey? Just with a chance, with a chance. All you witches and all your old magicians, it's time to start listening to with a chance, with a chance. Mystic sister and you got through puberty. You think you might be pagan and you want community. You meet a sex magician, he tells you how it will be, and he claims that the door is locked and he only has the key. He claims that he's an elder but he's only 33. He's got merry meat, he merry pot your legs to blessed be. He says you best get used to it, it's part of our religion. You think he might be full of shit but you're a trusting pigeon. He brings you to a circle and the priest gives you a shoving. Says we like polyamory and lots of carnal loving. So if you fuck my friends and me, we'll let you in our coven. And if you want a family, we'll put one in your oven. Witch war, twitch law, witch war, pitch saw, witch war, ditch door. Is he a lady conqueror or just a soldier in a witch war? You think we get enough grief from Christian right-wing preachers? We shouldn't have to bite each other like some feral creatures. I hear there's trouble brewing with the Voodons and the Wiccans. They're sacrificing values instead of little chickens. And some folks scam the new age kids because they're easy pickings. A bunch of pagan characters right out of Charles Dickens. I thought being pagan meant we all should get along, and that every path has value and there is no right or wrong. But every time there's power, there are always those who grab it. Someone comes along and takes a whack at Laurie Cabot. Some other fool shoots back like Elmer Fudd out hunting wabbits. They end up coming off like Lou Costello and Bud Abbott. Witch war, kitsch store, witch war, niche de jour, witch war, switch roar. You know I ain't no carnivore, ain't got stomach for a witch war. I know a couple women who were married to each other, and they were polyamorous, and soon they found another. And then a jealous friend of the third woman's exes started raising bad juju and casting nasty hexes. So everyone found out just what power over sex is, ripping at each other like Tyrannosaurus Rexes. So free from harm must only be the law. And if you've got a problem with that sticking in your craw, then maybe you're a power monger trying hard to squeeze us. And you will not be welcome here until your witch war ceases. And everybody must be free to do as he, she pleases, no matter if they follow Satan, Buddha, Bob, or Jesus. Witch war, rich war, witch war, snitch war, witch war, bitch war. Try to make life for sure, try to draft us in a witch war. Witch war, are you a big predator? Witch war, tell me what's it all for? Witch war, hey, who's minding the store? I can't take it anymore, better quit it with your witch war.
there by the window down the hall. I hear something there in the shadow down the hall. Oh, you were a vampire and now I am nothing at all. Oh, you were a vampire and now I am nothing at all. I got the ways and means to New Orleans. I'm going down by the river where it's warm and green. I'm gonna have a drink and walk around. I got a lot to think about. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We used to dance in the garden in the middle of the night. Dancing out in the garden in the middle of the night. Oh, you were a vampire and I may never see the lights. Oh, you were a vampire and I may never see the light. I got the ways and means to New Orleans. I'm going down by the river where it's warm and green. I'm gonna have a drink and walk around. I got a lot to think about. I got the ways and means to New Orleans. I'm going down by the river where it's warm and green. I'm gonna have a drink and walk around. I got a lot to think about. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Oh my fucking god, it's just Widdershins. Oh. Third time's the charm. If you followed a couple links and heard like a couple seconds worth of show and then it ended, well, hey, thanks for your patience. We had to be patient too, but it just kept crashing. Tell you why later. I'm sure that's the Christians. That's what it was, man. It was Christian hackers probably fucking with us. That's what it was. It wasn't user error. I'm sure of it. But Widdershins, we've been gone a couple weeks at least.
Yep.
I don't know when the last fucking Widdershins we did, but we've been.
I don't remember.
We don't just go on the air when we have nothing to say. We're going to run out of storage space if we do that, and then I'm going to have to pay for a larger package. But as it is, our package, that Spreaker gives us 3 hours per day, unlimited times per day that we can go live. However, we're running out of archival space, so I will probably have to throw more money at the motherfuckers. But at any rate, that's not your problem, right? Right. We're here. Lot going on in the world.
Yep.
That spell that all the witches put on Trump way back, well, hey, it might actually be manifesting right now. I don't want to jinx it, but hey, it would take several miracles for the idiot to get out of the pile of shit that he's in right now. So Trump is a Russian asset. I said it back when he was president, and now it turns out I was psychic. I was true. Stealing classified documents. I was just explaining it to Marna. She sees it in the background, but doesn't pay that much attention to it. But I think it was the first Mission Impossible, where dude is like dangling from this wire in that scene. He's trying to get the knock list.
Where he's like inches above the floor.
Yeah, and he's like dangling there, and the dude's fucking the French guy from was that movie where he was a hitman, The Cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that guy's there, like, holding on to the rope. That was all about the knock list. The list of our covert operatives worldwide. It was so big that, Mission Impossible had to go in and get the fucking thing. But apparently, you could just take it home with your grubby little hands and keep it in your fucking desk. Because it's looking like that's one of the things.
Intermingled with random papers that were personal.
Yes, and probably nuclear secrets, all kinds of shit that I'm sure he was going to fucking sell to the Russians, or already did, or sold to the Saudis, or already did. Maybe he had the fucking recipe for nuclear fusion, and hence a bomb. Lots of people like to get their hands on how to fucking do that because they don't, have great scientists to figure that shit out. But we will hopefully find out some of it. Probably a lot of it. We won't even find out what the shit was. He'll just be serving large prison sentences. And I say he should already fucking be there. They have him dead to rights. He had documents he should not have had. Each one of them carries a 20-year fucking sentence. Just start racking them up. Start racking them up.
Tiptoeing around the whole thing, and they can't make one wrong move.
Because if he goes to jail for that, there's going to be violence in the streets. And Republicans are going to riot. Well, fuck you. We know how to fucking riot. We can have counter fucking riots. Fucking Antifa can show up like they've had to do to protect drag queen brunches and
for the children.
And the story time, drag queen story time.
Yep.
And that's been an interesting thing. They've been like harassing drag queen story times, freaking out children, showing up with fucking guns and shit. And I guess I forget, I don't even know where it was, but it was a place where open carry is legal. They showed up with a bunch of fucking guns. So did Antifa, bitches. And that's the world we're in. If we all have those rights, we need to push them. Can black people open carry? I remember the first few black people that ever tried to open carry in open carry states, and I watched them proned out on the fucking ground with guns pointed at their heads. We'll see if it can fucking happen. Over on our side of the fence, we need to push freedom of religion. Either they admit that we have freedom of religion too, or admit that we don't. Either one works for me and clarifies the fucking battlefield. Now they have this, I think it's the law in Texas. If somebody sells you or sends you a "In God We Trust" poster, you have to post it. So activists in Florida have made the poster in Arabic and sending thousands of them to Texas schools. We'll see how that goes. There's a guy on TikTok. He came up with a really good idea, but now that I heard the actual law, I don't know if it's going to work. But he was making up "In God We Trust" posters with a picture of Bacchus. But the law specifically says that it can't have any pictures. It's got to have the American flag and the Texas flag, no other pictures. So, but there are many names for God. Maybe that can be the thing. It did not stipulate in English. We'll see what happens when the Arabic versions show up. But again, we need to push the fucking envelope. We need to get fucking active. We need to get in their fucking faces. We need to fucking show up. There's, let's see, there was that, I think that was also in Texas, where a football coach was allowed to have a prayer session on the field during games. Their Supreme Court ruled that it was okay. We should be able to whip out fucking incense and candles on the fucking on the football field, in fucking classes. They're having prayer in classes. If they can do that, we need to do that. Either we need to try and do that and make them admit that it's only their religion that has freedom of religion, and then we will know where we are in this revolution and when we have to strap on guns and shit. And I absolutely recommend to everybody out there, and since I'm on a platform that can't kick me off, pagans, you better fucking be getting armed. If you ain't getting armed, you better learn fucking hand-to-hand combat melee weapons. But you should have them. Start learning about fucking gun safety, gun handling. Learn how, get yourself a fucking gun locker. Arm your fucking asses up. Now, I don't want to fucking toot my own horn, but back before Trump got elected, a couple months before, I made a video on YouTube. You can still find it on my YouTube channel called Real Witches Don't Vote Republican. In that video, I pointed out a little known fact that nobody fucking remembers, but it's been my job to have the fucking long memory. George W. Bush ran on the platform of doing away with the religious rights of Wiccans, and specifically kicking the Wiccans off of the military bases, which was a big thing at the time. There was witches openly practicing their religion on military bases all over the country, and the right-wingers and the evangelicals were all pissed off about that. That was his original platform that he ran on, which got him into office. He then changed his focus to Muslims. Bad for the Muslims, good for us. It worked out, took his focus off, but that, look it up. That's what he was originally running on. That's Bush. We think of him as a charming little fucking cartoon character
I miss
now.
Bush.
And, I think of his character in Harold and Kumar, where he smokes a joint with him. Texas Kush, I believe it was. I think of that. He's the biggest fascist in the world at the time. But I'd fucking take him back in a heartbeat rather than have the fucking orange menace back. The country has turned to fascism. Recently, Joe Biden called the MAGA Republicans semi-fascist. A lot of Republicans are all pissed off about that. The only thing I'm pissed off about is the word semi. I know what the word fascist means, and they absolutely, the dictionary definition of a fascism is the fucking MAGA Republicans and probably the entire GOP at this point in time. And I hope he never fucking backs down from his statement. I hate how Trump is, but Biden should take one thing from his playbook and double down. Say, when people call him on it, say, oh, you're right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I should not have used the word semi. You're right. Sorry about that. And just fucking leave it there. Drop the fucking mic and walk out of the fucking briefing room. Scary times, brothers and sisters. This show, The Digital Inquisition, Part 4, because we tried to do Part 3 and it crashed. And then I tried to do, Part 2 and then it crashed. Then I tried to do Part 3 and the phone was just locked up. I had to reboot the phone, so we started the show late. But it's given me a certain amount of fire. I'm so pissed off now at how the beginning of the show went that I'm probably much more entertaining than I would have been. Over the years now, we have talked about the Digital Inquisition. I think it started with Etsy. They started taking off witch and pagan stores on Etsy. A lot of them are still there, so it wasn't a full blanket thing. Apparently, I don't understand how it all worked, but I got plenty of reports that happened. Haven't heard it on Instagram, but it might be happening. I have heard it happen on Facebook. And I myself, I've spent plenty of time in Facebook jail, but I was bullying Christians and bullying Trump supporters, so, that's legit. I called somebody fugly. I called David Griffin's wife fugly one time. They booted me for
in trouble for that one.
a few weeks for that one. Called somebody a potato one time. I thought I'd get away with that one. No, I didn't get away with that one. But as a lot of you know, I'm also a TikTok witch. I'm on TikTok because of the fucking shithole that I found TikTok to be when I went there, and trying to make it a better place. Got a whole class of TikTok witches in my class, and they are slowly starting to have an impact on TikTok. And one of my students the other day, I guess right after HexFest, he got his account banned for being under 13 years old. We were drinking with him. I'm sure I saw somebody check his fucking ID. So he was definitely over 13 years old, you know, when he was at HexFest. Guy's got a full fucking beard. Zephyr Green got his page taken down. He proved his age, sent in his ID or his driver's license, and they said they weren't going to give him his page back based on the content of his page. This is a guy whose entire page is teaching and talking about witchcraft. That's all he fucking does. I am on my 5th account on TikTok. It's like I start over every time I get up to like double-digit thousands. The Christians find me again. I get on their fucking radar. They mass report me, get it taken down. It's really easy to do that on TikTok. You just have to be persistent. I've done experiments where I've taken down certain pages just to see if I could. They were bot pages, but just to see if I could. It just took like about 20 reports to make the fucking thing happen. It has been said on TikTok that the people actually running the tech support are right-wingers and Christians. I would hope that's not the case, because right-wingers and Christians have never been known to be technologically savvy. At the very least, coding requires math, and you know, being that so many of them still think that the election was stolen, the majority of them seem to be math challenged. So I don't know if that is the case. Maybe they're Christians. Christians haven't been known to be too technologically savvy. You know who has been since the dawn of fucking technology? Pagans. In a pagan census, in a book I read in the early 90s, it had been the number one job of pagans, witches, practitioners, since the 80s. Since when they were just starting to learn about computer programming. It's been a field dominated by our kind. So at the very least, we should hopefully have some hackers out there, some pagan hackers that can do some fucking justice. Anyway, as you might know, I'm an anarchist, and we have these rules about shit like this. Don't complain about it. If you're the one that recognizes the problem, do something to solve the problem. If you fail to do something to solve the problem, shut the fuck up, because nobody wants to hear a whiny little bitch. And there were words to that effect. It's probably fit on a bumper sticker one time. But if you see a problem, do something about it. So here's the good part of the show. It's also, unfortunately, the part of the show that crashed the first version of this show tonight was our own social media app, because it decided to play an ad with fucking sound on it, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. But we learn from our mistakes, right? But just a few days ago now, we launched a project that we've been working on for about 3 years. We've been working on it basically by talking to the techs back and forth. We are not the technical staff of the project, but it's called Witchbook Live, and we launched it just like 3-4 days ago. Saturday. Yeah, we launched it on Saturday.
Right after the moon turned new.
Right after the moon turned new. It just kind of worked out that way, but that's when we would, have wanted to launch it anyways. And it's going well. Witchbook Live, it's, Witchbook is one word, and then there's a space with live. We might change the name, we don't know. I like our name, but there is somebody out there that has a thing called Witchbook. One guy asked me today, he said, okay, I paid for Witchbook, where are the classes? And I said, our app is not a paid app. Our app is a free app. Here's a picture of our app. We've got a little pointy witch hat on a green field. But it's only available in the Apple App Store so far.
For now.
We're working out the bugs. We tested it for a long time, but then when we launched it, the users out there, they found more bugs that we had never come up. So we're fixing those. Once we fix those, the next priority is making the Android Google version.
Google Play.
I'm thinking that covers everything, and it's kind of weird because Apple is Apple. Android is fucking Google and Samsung and all of these things. I'm hoping there's nobody else.
It's like there's Apple and then there's everybody else.
Because we're already paying Google, even though we haven't fucking launched it there. I mean, we're paying for two different platforms already just to get this thing afloat. And we have a little bit of ads as the only revenue stream coming from this thing at this time. But we launched it Saturday. It's a lot like Instagram in its infancy. We don't have video yet. That's like the main difference. We don't have video yet, but that's later down the priority list. But we post pictures and text with the pictures and links with the pictures, and we got a lot of users already. We'll probably get a lot more based on all the people that say they're waiting for the Android version. But so far it's going well. But the thing is, the reason behind it, we're fucking in charge. We are witches. It is an app for witches, for practitioners, for alternative religions and spiritualities, all kinds. We will allow Christians to come there, but as soon as they start like proselytizing to us, trying to convert us or giving us a hard time, guess who's going to kick them off? Me or Marta?
The ban user button has no bugs.
It has no bugs.
I will use it
the ban,
happily.
Yep, there's ban user, delete the post, and all that stuff. So far, we have not had to do that one time. Nobody has reported a post. But in addition to that, I'll also, when that starts to happen, I'm also going to be looking at the people that are reporting the posts. Because what I have experienced over there on TikTok is I get, my pages banned for harassment and bullying when actually I'm being harassed and bullied by fucking a bunch of Christians that decided to mass report my fucking page. My last page went down when some people reported a year's worth of videos in one night. They had nothing better to do. It was for Friday night. No fucking social life. Some bitter little fucking malcontents somewhere just mass reported. It was like my page was down before I woke up. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't put it onto private to stop that from happening. There was no way, and they wouldn't restore it. And I played the religious persecution card many times in many of my appeals to no avail. They responded with, no, your content violates our blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, yeah, okay. So my content is teaching witchcraft. Really teaching witchcraft on a platform where there's a bunch of, for lack of a better word, baby witches that really want to fucking learn witchcraft, and they have a bunch of people teaching them bullshit. Now, the people that teach bullshit, they don't tend to get their pages down. I just saw a guy yesterday who said he went to the dark school of wizardry, and he showed a picture of what I'm pretty damn sure was fucking Hogwarts. 300,000 fucking followers this guy's got. He hasn't had his fucking account taken down, but when they find the real deal, somebody, teaching witchcraft in a practical way without a bunch of woo-woo fucking nonsense, they're going to come at me.
Yeah,
and I'm
Hogwarts is okay.
Yeah, and I'm not whining about it. It's a fucking badge of honor. Every fucking account they take down, I'll put up another one. And I will not leave TikTok because of it, and I won't leave TikTok because we have our own social media platform either. I'm going to stay there and be the thorn in the side and keep making new accounts. And the best way to make Uncle Birch stay is to try and get rid of him. It doesn't fucking work that way, man. I'm a tenacious motherfucker once you fuck with me. Ask the city of Santa Cruz that about Phil Free someday. That's a different fucking story. At any rate, I'll be looking for that too. If I get people mass reporting people that are not doing anything wrong, well, I'm going to have to message that person and go, hey, are you perhaps the bully? Maybe it's your account we should take down. But we will be in charge. Right now it's me and Marta. If we get too big, then we'll have other people be admins too. But so far it's me and Marta, and that shit ain't gonna fly. And so if that interests you at all, get over there to Witchbook Live, and download it. I would have put the link in the bio here, but we had all those technical problems getting the show started today. But that's been pretty much our week. It's become a full-time job, providing content, watching the content on our app, and We do not have messaging capability yet, so I've been having to do tech support on every social media platform out there. I've got people on Instagram telling me about bugs, people on Facebook, people on TikTok telling me about bugs. I even had somebody in my Discord tell me about the various bugs. And, you know, somebody's got to do that, so I respond. We've figured a lot of workarounds for the bugs at this time while the technicians are fixing the bugs. And, you know, we'll probably have an update, hopefully within the next couple days. They were estimating today we would have an update, but I don't know if that's going to happen because they go in there and then you find another bug. Acorn, Marta's pointing an acorn at me.
Cute.
They can't see that because it's, you know, it's radio and stuff.
I didn't ask you to describe what I was doing.
I didn't
That's just
need you
between
to
you and
ask me. Well, it is between you and me, but not at the same time. At any rate, what do you want to talk about? Trump's got to go to prison.
I'm really hot and tired.
You're always hot, and a lot of times you're tired too.
I'm hot and sweaty.
Hot and sweat. Yeah, that's often too. But yeah, we're excited about that. We actually we posted the link over there. That we do have a limited number of ads. I seem to get them. It's like I shared it on Marta's phone. She didn't get an ad. I shared it, and that's one of the times that you get an ad over there sometimes when you're sharing something, and that particular ad bumped Wittershins off the fucking air.
I'm always happy to get an ad on there. So
I know.
It's a conspiracy that I didn't.
You know, and some funny things like, you know, Google's trying to figure out who we are. We're not mining people's data. We don't provide Google with any data, but, you know, Google has their own, you know, they're out there tracking you on other things, so they probably know who you are. But there's a game that keeps coming up, and it has all these occult references in the game. Like there's a voodoo star that you could win. It's a very powerful weapon. And that was kind of funny. But then, so somebody told me today that they had some Christian ministry fucking ad that will protect you from Satan and witchcraft.
So they paid money to advertise on our platform.
Pay to pray.
Yep.
And so the Christians are having to pay us. That's pretty fucking funny. Do not disturb. Why do you say do not disturb off? Don't you fucking turn my do not disturb off, you bitch. That's one of the things I keep on to stop you from crashing the damn show.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just suggesting that I turn it off. Hey, I'm busy. I don't want to be disturbed right now, goddamn.
Why else would you turn it on
doing
unless
fucking
you didn't want to be
Wittershins
disturbed?
here. Yeah, I would. Don't you tell me, machine. I have the thumbs.
That I want to be disturbed now.
Yes, I will tell you when and if I want to be disturbed. All right, I gotta take a musical break because I've been talking a mile a minute. I'm not sure what else I have to talk
I don't know.
about,
We might
but it's
just
going to be a short show.
Do an hour. This time.
It's going to be a short show, that's for sure. But
because I'm hot.
and sweaty.
His eyes, they closed, and his last breath spoke. He had seen all to be seen. A life once full, now an empty vase, with the blossoms on his early grave. Walk away, me boy, walk away, me boy, and by morning we'll be free. Wipe that golden tear from your mother dear, and raise what's left of the flag for me. Then the rosary beads, count them 1, 2, 3, fell apart as they hit the floor. In our garb of black, we must pay respect to the colour we're born to mourn. Walk away, me boys, walk away, me boys, by morning we'll be free. Wipe the golden tear from your mother dear, raise what's left of the flag for me. Stickaroo, an angry fist start a wound filled with hatred and remorse, where I pick and scratch till the blood it matched the silent rage now that fills my lungs. For there are one tear from your mother, dear, and raise what's left of the flag for me.
October, okay.
2nd.
What is it? Something's coming out September 2nd.
September 2nd is in like 3 days.
I know, there's something coming out September. Oh, I think that's a Tom Clancy thing. Okay, well, there's something. But anyway, I want to check that out because we've been inconvenienced quite a bit while they're filming it around our neighborhoods here. There's portions of the French Quarter you couldn't go into while they were filming. And anything that they film in New Orleans, I want to see it. Hopefully, hopefully they didn't butcher it. It's, just a travesty. And then you got the Lord of the Rings thing coming out too. I want to see that. But let's talk about Greg Locke. It's Locke, I believe. He first became known as a crazy preacher calling out the witches in his congregation. Then he said that Democrats can't be Christians, and they should be they're baby eaters and murderers and election thieves and blah 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 blah. They're doing a lot of politics from the pulpit. This is a good part of the digital inquisition, because several groups descended on him, and I know one very organized group of witches and pagans mass reported him to the IRS for doing politics from the pulpit, even though he had tax-exempt status. Then the IRS came to fuck with him about his tax-exempt status, and he said that he dissolved his tax-exempt status because he wasn't going to be ruled by a bunch of whatever Democrats. We don't even know if that's really true if he did that, but the IRS definitely started taking a look at it. Now, Greg Locke, I think it was back in April in Tennessee, there was a thing called Cauldron Fest that I almost presented at, and he showed up with a bunch of his people. Unfortunately for Greg Locke, the majority of the attendants at Cauldron Fest were Norse pagans. They don't take that shit. They came fucking marching up on the gate, armed to the fucking teeth. Swords and shit, probably most of it. And word is, I heard, Greg Locke's people turned tail and ran. Now Greg Locke is threatening to show up at Wiccan festivals and protest them. We had Witches Fest in July in New York, had a bunch of Christians protesting that, making a lot of threats and shit. We have a new thing on the scene in the last year or so. It's called Christian nationalism. And if you're anything like I am, and you hear the word Christian nationalism, you should be scared. Not scared to where you run away, but scared enough to learn about firearms and shit, learn about military tactics and shit. History oft repeats itself, but there's always little changes along the way, and little changes that can be made. It doesn't always happen the same way, you see. Lots of people have said, we are the reborn or witches that you couldn't burn. And some believe that we are the witches that you did burn. And we're back here again. And I thought that for a majority of my life, too, that I'm here to watch the Christian church fall. And several times in my life, I thought I finally saw the death knells of that fucking abusive death cult. But they keep rearing their fugly fucking heads. But this time, can't go down like last time. Now, again, like I said at the beginning of the show, back when Trump was running for president, I made a video on YouTube, and it's called Real Witches Don't Vote Republican. And in that, I said, the moment that Christians' strongly held religious beliefs were used to take away the rights of gay people in the workplace and, not make a cake for them, etc., 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 we were going to be next. But then actually women were next. Then they took away women's reproductive rights in the workforce, used like insurance policies to take away contraception, that kind of thing. Now we got fucking Roe versus Wade. We're always next. And now they're talking about it. Now they're fucking talking about it. There's many fucking right-wing psychopath preachers talking about us. And I said it at the time. When they were able to use those religious rights to take away the rights of gay people, the next thing that was going to happen is some motherfucker is going to say that forcing him to suffer a witch to live would be a violation of his strongly held religious beliefs. That has happened. There are 3 preachers that I know of that have said pretty much those same fucking words. Called me paranoid back when I said it. You are not paranoid if they're out to get you. If they've been out to get you for 2,000 fucking years, it's never fucking paranoia. I think we need to protest back. We've been relatively docile, live and let live, staying out of the fucking headlines, that kind of thing. Why can't we show up to fucking churches and protest them? Why can't we show up to their fucking revivals and their fucking outside gatherings and shit and protest them? I mean, unless you count the fucking Romans, pagans never did shit to Christians. we've suffered at the hands of Christians for as soon as Christians fucking came to power. Pagans, heathens, all of us. And we're fucking still docile, still this live and let live thing. There's never a fucking blowback. There's never a lashback. I would go to even more extremes, but I'm, of course, not going to advocate those because I don't really want to talk to the FBI, have them come to my house and shit. But, you can imagine the extremes I might take such a thing for my strongly held religious beliefs. It's my strongly held religious belief that America is not a Christian country. The founding fathers, for all of their many faults, including having slaves after they said all men are created equal, they were all very opposed to religion being involved in politics, and several of them specifically opposed to Christianity. You got to figure, and we as witches, our biggest amount of suffering comes from the fact that somebody once let a king rewrite the fucking Bible. That would be King James. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live did not appear in the Bible until King James got his grubby little fucking hands on it, and most Bibles carry that translation from this day. Allowing a fucking king to take over a religion was a really fucking bad idea. And the founding fathers had had enough of that really fucking bad idea and suffered at the hands of the Church of England so much that they made sure to stipulate that right away before any of the. It's the first fucking amendment, man. That was one of the first things that they were fucking thinking about. And if you actually read the documentation behind their opinions, they were extremely opposed to Christianity. They were extremely opposed to religion at all of them. And the majority of them were not Christian. If anything, a lot of them were fucking Masons. It was not really a religion, but a secret club kind of thing. That's my strongly held religious belief. It's my strongly held religious belief that I should be able to believe what the fuck I want. We got the fucking, the flying spaghetti monster is a fucking religion out there. And they wear colanders on their fucking heads, man. Cool. More power to them. They should be able to fucking do that. Probably the most interesting of all the religious groups that I've seen is that fucking Church of Satan in recent years, who doesn't actually believe in Satan, but they're using Satanism to push political agendas. Abortion is one of their tenets. It's one of their religious rights.
Is the Church of Satan different than the Satanic Temple?
I'm not sure which one of those is the one that's the political group. It might be the Satanic Temple.
Yeah.
The ones putting Baphomets all over the place.
Yeah, and I always
I always confuse them too. But one of them out there, it's not even about Satan. It's using Satan to push this political agenda. The abortion is one of their tenets.
Referred to as an activist group.
Yes, activist group. And they've pushed, and I have prayer in schools in some places unless you let us pray too. And then suddenly they don't want prayer in schools.
And they have an after-school club that teaches about science-based things. Nothing about Satan, but it happens to be the Satanic.
And it's Christian science where the world is 4,000 years old, and Noah put dinosaurs on the fucking ark. Those were the animals he brought over. So Christian science, which is really fucking funny.
I'm just talking about regular, good old-fashioned science.
Well, the guy that says ha-cha-cha-cha-cha on TikTok? He's a Norse pagan.
Oh, okay.
You hear him sometimes. You've probably never seen the guy. He's a big burly dude. Usually doesn't have a shirt on. He's got a big fucking Thor's hammer. His kids came home with a fucking flyer for this like school club that the kids could be in that teaches them the Bible and again science, that kind of stuff. It's a Christian club, and so they can go to that club, or they can stay in class and take tests and do homework. If you don't go to the club, you have a bunch of work you have to do. If you do go to the club, you can just go there and act like you're a fucking Christian or something. So he filed paperwork for a fucking Norse pagan club. I'm still waiting to hear the response from the fucking school. That's the kind of shit we need to do. We need some fucking pagan activism. They had it back in my day, man. I remember there was it wasn't Walmart yet. I think it was like Walgreens. It was a craft store, and they had a tombstone in the window for Halloween. And it said, Sarah Sanders burned at the stake, Salem, 1693 or something like that, which is stupid because they didn't burn witches in Salem anyways. But witches fucking descended on these fucking places. I did myself. Fucking protested there fucking 8 hours a fucking day till they pulled it from their goddamn shelves. However, I've seen that same tombstone in shops since then. Matter of fact, I walked into a shop back in the day and created such a stink about it that the lady goes, wait, what are you upset about? And I took her outside and I showed her this fucking thing. I said, I'm a pagan, I'm a witch. That's so offensive to make fun of our Holocaust. That's our fucking Holocaust, man. It's not fucking funny. You should go, oh my God, I do not want to piss off the witches. I had no idea. Now that you tell me, that is so offensive. She took the thing out of the fucking window, busted it over her knee, handed me both pieces. Said, are we cool now? I said, as long as you get rid of your backstock. And she agreed to fucking do it. But that, a matter of fact, that was actually later. That was when I first arrived in Santa Cruz. And up in Boulder Creek, there was this little shop that had that in their fucking window. And I, it just come from that protest down in Southern California. And I went full Karen on this woman. But it worked. I got some fucking justice. This is the kind of shit we need to do. If they want to have prayer in schools, we need to push the envelope for our prayer in schools. And sure enough, we just won't have a problem with prayer in schools anymore. It won't be a thing. Nobody will want to do it. If we start fucking with those God and in God we trust signs, they're just going to take them down. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we need to force our religious rights and either make them admit that we do not have them or force them to let us have them. And I think one of those will happen. But that's the kind of thing that I think needs to happen. That's my rant for the show. Don't have much else to say.
I'm burnt.
Marta's hot and sweaty and burnt. And, there's a breeze finally starting up, though. I think we're just going to play a couple songs and get the fuck out of here. And we'll see you next time. Get over there to Witch Book Live. Available on the Apple Store and available on Google Play as soon as we fucking can. And we got to go back there and do some work on that right now anyway. So thank you for joining us. We're gonna rock out a couple songs at the end of the show, and we'll see you next time. Typically, Wittersons comes to you every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Time, but we take a day off whenever we want to. We have a Facebook page called Wittersons Radio. Usually that's where we make the announcements if we're taking the day off, and then sometimes we just don't even make the announcement because we're just, we forgot it was fucking Wednesday. Wittersons can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Tumblr, SoundCloud. Almost all of them. If Wittersons isn't where you get your podcasts, then the place that you're getting your podcast probably sucks ass, and it's probably run by right-wing Christians and stuff. I am Uncle Birch, and I'll be shouting at you later.